Good morning and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, September 20th. I am Todd Wilchin. I'm the Vice Chair of the County Board. Commissioner Roma Amundsen, the Chair, is not here today. For introductions, on my left is fellow Commissioner Deb Shore, and on my right is Bill Avery. Joining us today will be from the County Attorney's Office, David Durbin. With the County Clerk's Office, we have the County Clerk, Dan Nolte, as well as Kelly Lundgren, sorry. And then from our Chief Administrative Officer will be Carrie Egan. So if you would, please join me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item, copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is in the back of the room and available for public display. Mr. Clerk, if you start the agenda, we'd appreciate it.
Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, September 13th, 2016.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the meetings. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Next is number 2, claims. Approval of all claims processed through September 20th, 2016.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 3 is new business. Special designated license application from Myers Wine, Inc., doing business as Myers Cork and Bottle for reception on October 7th, 2016 at Roca Berry Farm at 16531 South 38th Street, Roca, Nebraska.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the SDL application for Myers Wine. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. B is a special designated license application from Myers Wine, Inc., doing business as Myers Cork and Bottle for reception on October 8th, 2016 at Roca Ridge at 5265 Prairie Sage Drive, Roca, Nebraska.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve another SDL application from Myers Wine. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. C is setting the annual salary for Kayla Hathcote, Deputy County Attorney, in the amount of $61,813.44 as Attorney 1 effective September 30th, 2016.
Move
Deputy County,
approval. You.
We get to meet her.
Deputy
Oh,
County Attorney
good.
Ryan Sworoff. I'm here with our new attorney, Kayla Hathcote. She just received her bar results and she did pass. So she will be sworn in the end of this month and starting officially as an attorney September 30th.
Welcome.
She graduated from the University of Nebraska College of Law.
Kayla, tell us a little bit about your background and what particular field you'll be working in over at the current county attorney's office.
So I am the new civil attorney in the county attorney's office. I did go to the University of Nebraska for law school and Creighton for undergrad. And I'm originally from all over the United States. My dad worked for the Bureau of Prisons, so we moved around a lot. Grew up in Louisiana and Colorado and was born in DC, so just kind of all over the place. But I'm interested in doing more of the civil litigation side of things, and so that's where I'll be.
She's been training with me for the last few weeks as a senior certified law clerk, and she's been doing a fabulous job, so good hire.
Oh, great. Welcome aboard.
Now my
Welcome,
motion
Kaylee.
is there. Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to set the annual salary for Kayla Hathcote. Did I get it right? Hathcote, great. Any discussion?
Just like so.
Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. I'm going to move forward to 3J. This is amendment of the District Energy Corporation's Articles of Incorporation and Bylaws.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Bill Austin. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Baylor Evans here in Lincoln, and I act as general counsel for the District Energy Corporation, which is an interlocal entity that provides heating and cooling to various governmental buildings within the city and the county. We're here today because the District Energy Corporation has been engaged in a master planning effort to try to see what direction and focus it should take in the future and how to best utilize the facilities that are under its control. One of the things that the master planning effort has shown is that there is excess capacity that might be best utilized by attempting to sell that to private parties. As a result of that conclusion, we've been trying to adjust the governing documents of the District Energy Corporation to allow it to do that. One of the things that we've done is proposed an amendment to the Articles of Incorporation and bylaws that essentially would simply say, instead of just providing the heating and cooling to governmental entities, it would also then say, and to private parties. And that's what's in front of you today, are articles and bylaws that would make that change. And that's the only substantive change, although there are a number of other changes that have been made. These articles and bylaws have not been addressed since 1992, and it was time to just kind of update them and clean them up somewhat. So that is what is in front of you. Also with me today is Jason Fordick. He is the individual from Lincoln Electric System who is the contract manager and pretty much runs the District Energy Corporation on your behalf. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, but as I say, this is just one substantive change that would recognize within the governing documents the ability to also provide power to private parties.
Commissioner Shore?
Larry and I did talk to the board about the discussion we had at the DEC meeting with regards to the changes in these two documents. Jason, can you just talk briefly about green energy and their findings and why the DEC board has decided this is a good time to begin offering those services to private entities?
Sure. Well, we contracted with an entity called Evergreen Energy, the company that you mentioned there. They run several different district energy systems in a variety of communities across the country, and we contracted with them because they have expertise in doing this kind of analysis. So they came out to the city, looked at the facilities that we have, went around to some of the customers or potential customers that we have in the downtown area, and found that there actually is interest and, for some places, a need to redo and revise their existing heating and cooling systems. And so the Evergreen consultants recommended that we do make these changes to our governing documents to allow us to serve those private entities. There are certain constraints that we'll have to work under to make those accommodations and make those services available. But as Bill mentioned, we do have extra capacity in some of the facilities that the DEC operates that would make it possible for us to serve additional customers, primarily out of the West Haymarket plant and then out of the state plant. And so that's what we're trying to set ourselves up to be able to do. And the DEC board, as Deb mentioned, has been supportive of that. Actually gave us the authority to go out and do this.
Well,
I'll try not to touch anything. Do this contracting work.
Commissioner Avery?
Will this have an impact on your capacity to meet the terms of your current contracts with public entities?
No.
What would happen if you have contracts with private sector, and then you've got the obligation to the public? What if they come into conflict? What provisions in your bylaws would deal with that?
Well, we would most likely need to build or contract for facilities of sufficient size, sufficient capacity to serve all those customers. Currently, we have extra capacity, so we don't anticipate building anything additional in the current plants. We will have to install underground distribution piping to provide the hot and cold water, potentially steam to some of the new customers, but we don't anticipate adding anything to the existing plants if and until we get such a large customer base built up that would become necessary.
So you're talking about nearby customers,
Correct.
downtown, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally in the vicinity of the state plant, and then generally in the vicinity of the West Haymarket plant.
Any other questions?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the amendment of the District Energy Corporation's Articles of Incorporation and Bylaws. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you very much, and thank you for taking
Thank
us
you.
out of order.
Welcome back, Bill. We make you feel at home here.
Yeah, I kind of, yeah, it's nostalgic, it's deja vu.
Like old times.
Thank you.
3D is modification to county contract C-16-528 to the 2016 subrecipient agreement between Nebraska Emergency Management Agency and the Southeast Region for the Southeast Region's Homeland Security Program, decreasing the grant amount from $223,900 to $183,900 under a memorandum of understanding to fund the state of Nebraska's Fusion Center.
Jim David Saber is at training today, asked me to stand in case there were any questions from the board. Essentially, the reason for the reduction of $40,000 in our original grant is that we got an additional $40,000 from the Department of Agriculture to cover the same activities that were originally covered in the original grant. So,
State Department or national?
a state, yeah. So it involves the Livestock Emergency Disease Response System, and it was from the State Department of Agriculture. So that's the reason for the reduction. They didn't want us to be funded twice for the same activity. It's okay with me, but they had a problem with it.
Any questions?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the modifications to county contract C-160528. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Abstain.
Motion carries 2 yes, 1 abstention. E is a recommendation from the purchasing department and the county engineer to award a purchase order for the supply and hauling of gravel surface coarse material to Lancaster County stockpiles per specification 16-203 to Lyman Ritchie Corporation, Western Sand and Gravel, Westover Rock and Sand, and Husker Trucking. The total amount of all orders will be $590,025.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So this year, you may recall that because we used so much rock with the flooding last year, we did adjust our rock quantities up so that we could replace our rock. We are indeed almost out of rock in the county. So we are excited to get this contract awarded. In addition, I would like you to know that this dollar amount is in the budget. It actually was within $2,000 of our engineering estimate, which is really, really close. And then, in addition to that, I want the board to be aware that for the rock contracts, as I've done in the past, we did bid out rock production and then rock hauling to the individual piles so that we could give local small businesses the opportunity to participate if they weren't big enough to do the whole county. And so we are recommending awarding this contract to Lyman Ritchie, Western Sand and Gravel, Westover Rock and Sand, and Husker Trucking.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the recommendation from the purchasing department and the county engineer. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. F is an interlocal agreement with the Village of Bennett for law enforcement services within the village limits. The Lancaster County Sheriff will assign one or more deputies to duty in the village limits and provide a cruiser or cruisers. The village will reimburse the county at the average overtime rate based on the deputy sheriff's pay plan as detailed in the agreement between Lancaster County, Nebraska and the Lancaster County Deputy Sheriff's Association, Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 29, effective August 20th, 2016. Term of the agreement is September 1st, 2016 through August 31st, 2017.
Dave Durbin, Deputy County Attorney, Lancaster County Attorney's Office. I spoke with Chief Deputy of the Sheriff's Office, and we would like to hold this contract until further notice.
Okay.
Thank you.
We will hold it.
3G is an agreement with Rocaberry Farm authorizing Rocaberry Farm to apply magnesium chloride to those portions of South 38th Street and Roy Street as designated in Exhibit A of the agreement. The term of this agreement is 2 years from the date of execution, or is the date of the agreement is executed by both parties.
As a preliminary matter, Rocaberry Farms was unable to get the contracts executed and back in time, so I think we need at least a 1-week delay, if we can reschedule it for next week.
So we'll be holding item G.
Yes.
I know time is of the essence for them. Could we do it on Thursday?
I don't think they'll be ready. We were ready, we had the contracts to them.
All
She's
right.
trying to get the Village of Roca to contribute to the cost and apparently is negotiating with them still.
Understood.
Okay. H is a contract with Hawkins Construction Company for Project 16-18 on Rokeby Road from South 84th Street to South 98th Street. Term of the contract is from September 21st, 2016 through November 3rd, 2017. Cost of the county is $2,817,347.53.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So what you have before you today is the contract to pave Rokeby Road from 84th to 98th Street. The contract is really solely being paid for by LES. They have already deposited the money in the county engineer's account. And so this, we talk a lot about public-private partnerships. I'd call this like a public partnership cubed. City of Lincoln jurisdiction, also our jurisdiction, and then LES. I really appreciate all the work everyone has done together to create what will be a very successful project to meet the needs of our community. If you have any questions about the LES partnership in this or the building to be constructed in this area, J.D. Linscott, who I've had the opportunity to work with for a number of years, who's a very talented peer of mine, is here today representing LES.
Commissioner Shore.
The only question I have is, I know we had talked about a $4 million number, and this is half. Are we expecting other charges to be incurred as the project goes along?
We are not. I mean, there's always the possibility with construction that there could be a change order or a contract modification. If there is, we have made arrangements with LES that they will make an additional contribution. The $4 million number will be adjusted in our budget. Of course, I have the authority for $4 million under this line item, but because the deposit was not $4 million, it was 2.8. We will be spending 2.8, not 4.
Okay. Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Hawkins Construction for project number 16-18. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 3I is a settlement agreement and release of claims with Ben Lewis, Lee Lewis, and Nathan Lewis.
Move approval of the agreement.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the settlement agreement and release of claims. Any additional or any further, any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. K are amendments to the following contracts for miscellaneous HVAC services. The amendment extends the contracts from August 14th, 2016 through February 28th, 2017. Estimated cost of county for all contracts is not to exceed $25,000. This is County Contract C-12-398 with Capital Heating and Air, and County Contract C-12-396 with Johnson Controls, Inc.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the amendments to contracts for miscellaneous HVAC services. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. L are amendments to the following contracts for electrical services. The amendment extends the contract from September 13, 2016 through February 28, 2017. The estimated cost to county for all contracts is not to exceed $16,000. This includes county contract C-12-433 with Gregg Electric Company, county contract C-12-436 with High Electric, Inc., contract C-12-435 with Progressive Electric, and contract C-12-434 with Wilmer Electric Service Corporation.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the amendments to contracts for electrical services. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. M is amendment to county contract C-16-154 with Orkin LLC for annual services of pest control. The amendment adds additional services for Lancaster County. The additional locations for these services are listed in attachment A. The revised contract total with the additional services estimated to be $2,680.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a, a motion to approve and a second to amend the county contract with Orkin for annual services of pest control. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. N is an amendment to county contract C-12-527 with NGC Group, Inc. for general construction services. The amendment extends the contract from September 13, 2016 through February 28, 2017. Estimated cost to the county is not to exceed $25,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the amendment to county contract with NGC Group for general construction services. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 4, consent items. Setting a public hearing for September 27, 2016 at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building to set the final tax request at a different amount than the prior year tax request. The request is for Lancaster County and the Rural Library for Lancaster County. Setting a public hearing for September 27, 2016 at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building regarding an appeal of county preliminary plat number 16003 Conestoga Lake Estates, Southwest 91st Street and West Pioneer Boulevard. Right-of-way contracts between Lancaster County and Talcott Land and Cattle Company, Rokeby Road, South 84th to South 98th Streets, in a total amount of $9,634, and this is for 3 contracts.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 5 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on agenda may do so at this time.
Gary Aldridge, Lincoln, Nebraska. Commissioner Wilchin, you look good in that seat. The guy with 100% job security is that person who sets the price of gasoline at the pump. Some observations. I'm glad, no, happy, absolutely thrilled to see the county engineer's shop, yes, Virginia, can at times function without sense, i.e. is senseless. A homonym that escapes most. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. There may be a song there. As a fraction, 2/3. As a decimal point, 66666 et al. Batting in baseball, 666, and making a ton of money. On the internet, quote, official site of Lancaster County, Nebraska, budget and fiscal, adopted and proposed budgets, 3 budget documents for FY 2017. A mystery why 3 are necessary. 2 agree, 1 is a rogue, short $4 million in accounts. Perhaps couch change for the board. With respect to a budget document posted on an official site of Lancaster County, citizens, taxpayers, owners expect some better than 2 out of 3. It seems now they expect too much. Ain't democracy beautiful?
Thank you, Mr. Aldridge. Anyone else in the public wishing to make comments? Hearing none? Yep, please.
Next is announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, September 22nd, 2016, at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford Studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold their next regular meeting on Tuesday, September 27th, 2016, at 9 a.m. in Room 112 of the County City Building, with the Board of Equalization immediately following. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live. It is rebroadcast on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays on 5 City TV, Cable Channel 5. In addition, the meeting may be viewed on the internet at lancaster.ne.gov under 5 City TV, Video on Demand, or 5 City TV on YouTube.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
That concludes the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting. Next is the Lancaster County Board of Equalization.
Copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item were minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, September 13th, 2016.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, September 13th. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 2 are additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions.
Second.
Excuse me.
We have a motion and a second to approve the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 3 is a public hearing. This is for motor vehicle tax exemption applications, and this includes Catholic Social Services, Cedars Youth Services, Evangelical United Lutheran Church, Great Plains Annual Conference of the United Methodist Church, Lincoln Lutheran School Association, and Vital Services, Inc.
Okay, I will open the public hearing for the motor vehicle tax exemption applications listed. Anyone here to speak in support, in opposition, or in the neutral capacity for these applications? Hearing none, I will close the motor vehicle tax exemption applications public hearing.
Move
Okay.
approval.
Next is action on motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
I will move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 5 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business, not on agenda, may do so at this time.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Yes.
motion carries 3-0.
That concludes